We have made it to the final stages of the regular season, and with that, the St. Louis Dragons need all the wins they can get to look to position themselves in the playoffs to hopefully go on a run for the Lombardi Trophy. Today we've got Week 15 at home against the New York Jets. The Dragons currently sit at 9-4 with 4 more games left on the schedule, all 4 of which are at home. Now, we haven't been playing the best football over the last few weeks, and if not for an impressive overtime win against the Atlanta Falcons, we'd be on a 3-game losing streak. That includes our loss in the last episode of the Bucks, 26-23, but I don't think the score of this game really does it justice. We did not play well in this game whatsoever. Puma Whitlock had his worst game of the year, while Deontay Harris threw for nearly 500 yards. Griffin Weaver III and Tykeem Keon combined for over 300 of those yards. And obviously, those guys are pretty relevant in this series, being that the two of them have been on our team over the last 4 seasons. With the Bucks signing those two, we acquired Amarion Cephas in a trade from Tampa Bay, and he had 5 drops in this game. Simeon Bonnet, our best defensive player, meanwhile, tore his abdominal and is set to be out until Week 17. That brings us to this game against the Falcons, probably the game of the year. I know the New Orleans game was also wild, but this game was unbelievably exciting. Going into overtime, we lost the coin toss. The Falcons started with the ball, and they had brought it all the way inside the 10-yard line before a miraculous, season-defining interception by Cam Lucifer, who otherwise did not have a very good game. He got torched by Drake London, who was unbelievable in this one for Atlanta. Puma Whitlock was a lot better here than he was against the Bucks. He ended up winning the NFC Offensive Player of the Week, and we really spread the ball around receiving-wise. Modelo, Likely, Robinson, and Cephas all with at least 5 catches for 70 yards, and Colin Robinson scored twice, a receiving and rushing touchdown against his former team, no less. With that win, we clinched the division. We would have clinched it anyway because the other 3 teams lost because they all suck. So now our focus is on seeding. We're currently the 2nd seed, a game back of the Carolina Panthers, who of course owned the head-to-head tiebreaker over us as well. So it's certainly going to be an uphill battle for us to ultimately get that number 1 seed, but it is possible. But we're going to need to win this game today against the Jets. Teams like the Packers and the Eagles are not too far behind us, and the wild card field seems to be loaded. As it stands now, we would play the Saints in the first round. As we look at our schedule to wrap up the season, I think this matches really favorably with us. The only real playoff contender we have to face off against is the Miami Dolphins. Not to mention all of our last 4 games are at home. That's also with a home playoff game in the wildcard round. So the earliest we're going to have to travel is the divisional round, and hopefully we're not traveling to Cancun, Mexico, signaling the end of our season. As for the New York Jets, they're 5-8. They're not completely out of it, but they kind of need to win out. So they are playing for their playoff lives. At quarterback, they have Deacon Adderley, the former Tampa Bay Buccaneer. We saw the Bucs offense. I think they're more than happy with letting Deacon Adderley go. And he hasn't had the best season with the Jets. He's already thrown 17 picks after just amassing 4 last year. The Jets have an interesting QB room, including former Day 3 pick Marlon Byfield, who has superstar X Factor. They don't even know what they have yet. Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, and recent top 10 draft pick Feliciano Devereaux leads the skill position group. Their secondary is really good with Sauce Gardner, Brian Branch, Kenya Catch, and Cosmos Cortez. The rest of their defense, though, is quite lackluster outside of the back end. So because of that, we're going to look to attack them on the line of scrimmage by running the ball and really focus our passing game towards the middle of the field. It's kind of ironic because we have a breakout opportunity here for Puma Whitlock, and I feel like this was the wrong game for him to get this breakout chance because, again, I don't think we're necessarily going to be looking to stretch the field vertically with the amount of talent that the Jets have in the secondary. So if there's a game where Puma doesn't put up 300 yards, it's probably this one. Of course, we're coming into this game short-handed as well. 2 of our top 3 pass rushers in Simeon Bonnet and Trajan Blyshenden are out. We will be getting Malachi Weston back. And of course, no Jamison Williams, so we're going to need some big production out of the receivers, specifically this guy, Arturo Modelo, who leads the NFL in receptions with 100. We had great performances last week from Colin Robinson, Amarion Cephas, and Isaiah Likely. We're going to need more production from those guys again, along with the rookie Jalen Mallard. Should be a fun one here as the Dragons look to stabilize things after a really up and down past 5 games where the Dragons have gone 3-2, but They barely won those 3 wins. So we'll see if St. Louis can perform here against a Jets team who is pretty much fighting for their playoff lives. The Dragons will start on offense. We'll take a look at the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week, Puma Whitlock, who has moved up to second in the MVP race, only behind Lamar Jackson, who leads the NFL's best 11-2 Baltimore Ravens. St. Louis, of course, will start from the 25 as it's a handoff to Juskins, and he loses 2. Bobby Okereke brings him down. As I said, the Dragons are going to look to run the ball early, especially up the middle, and that's not exactly a great start. 3rd and 5 from the 30. Puma looks short. He's got Colin Robinson, who is pushed out of bounds by the talented young safety Cosmos Cortez, but not before getting the first down. There are only a few certainties in life: death, taxes, and Colin Robinson stepping up when other receivers get hurt. Darwin Juskins with a big run of nearly 20 yards, bringing it to the 39. He's able to get a hole up the middle and does a great job of weaving away from defenders. 2nd and 2. Puma Whitlock looks for the sideline. He's got Arturo Modelo, but unfortunately the left tackle, Sharif Sully, is hurt. He'll go to the locker room. This is a big deal. Sully is one of our best and most important players, and he ended up suffering an abdominal tear, which is the same injury that Simeon Bonnet got 2 weeks ago. So if Sully ends up having the same timeline, he will not return until the wild card round of the playoffs. So while it's nice that he will be back for the postseason, not having one of our best and most important players for the rest of the regular season is not ideal. Puma looking up the middle for Aaron Mayer on 3rd down. It's incomplete under pressure from a number of defensive backs. Good play from Garrett Williams in coverage. Here comes the field goal unit. 38-yard try for Cameron Dicker is good. Dicker, the kicker, of course, with a game-winning kick last week in Atlanta. So now the Jets have it. Here's Deacon Adderley, the former first-rounder out of Oklahoma, has it dropped by Lucifer. Of course, Cam Lucifer can make the acrobatic interception in overtime last week, but he drops this pick 6. To be fair, I would have rather him caught that last one last week, because if not, we wouldn't have won that game. 2nd and 10, down the field for Breece Hall, who gets it to the 39-yard line. The Dragons' defense over the last few weeks has allowed way too many big plays in the passing game. The Jets recognize this. They're looking to stretch the field early, and Breece Hall, the star running back, is able to make the play. Adderley on 1st down, goes up the middle for Hardman, breaks a tackle, he's in for a touchdown. McCall Hardman with a 39-yard score, and the New York Jets, Jets, will take the lead. For a team who's allowed way too many big plays over the last few weeks, a 3-play touchdown drive is not how the defense needed to start today. Back on offense, play action on 3rd and 2. Here's Robinson. Down the field, he gets it to the 40 for a huge gain. Big play for Colin Robinson, who's already off to a quick start today. As the Dragons' offense is in business, they've looked good early. Puma Whitlock down the field, he's got his tight end, Isaiah Likely, to the 19. That was a risky throw, multiple defenders in the area, but Puma threads the needle perfectly. 2nd and 8, looking for the end zone. It's Mallard for the score. The rookie out of BYU, Jalen Mallard, with his 2nd touchdown of the season. A really nice throw by Puma Whitlock, who is on fire so far, and a very impressive over-the-shoulders grab by the rookie Mallard. This play is ultimately going to be reviewed. I think it's pretty clear he was in. And, well, we're not even going to get to look at the replay. The play ultimately stands. It's a touchdown for Jalen Mallard, and it's now 10-7. Jets back with it. 2nd and 8 from the 23. Adderley and empty. Looks to throw it under a little bit of pressure, and it is dropped again by Lucifer. He's dropped a pair of picks today. Lucifer tied for the NFL's lead in interceptions this year with 4. 3rd and 8. Adderley under more pressure. He is incomplete, looking downfield for Draymond Rock, but his throw was altered by the pressure. Much better possession defensively as the Dragons have it back on offense. Here's Robinson on the RPO with a huge play, breaks a tackle, gets it to the 44-yard line. A big play for Colin Robinson, who's already got 65 yards here in the first quarter. Puma and Modelo both already in the zone as here's Santa with a big block by Colin Robinson. He gets 12. And Robinson, unfortunately, is hurt, which sucks because he's been so good today, making plays in the run game. He's got 65 yards already in the receiving game, and he ended up tearing his abdominal. The same injury as Sharif Sully and Simeon Bonnet. So again, if the timelines are the same, he will be out until the playoffs. 3rd and 3. Juskins gets nothing. The former Dragon, Nakobe Dean, brings him down as this drive comes to a screeching halt. 42-yard field goal trying for Cameron Dicker, the kicker. And it's a fake! The Jets don't see it coming. Likely is wide open. Stiff arms the defender to the 1. What a play for the Dragons, who very rarely fake kicks or punts, but they look to catch the Jets off guard, and it pays off. Cameron Dicker with a really good pass for Isaiah Likely. Everybody sells the fake perfectly, almost goes for a touchdown as they're just short of the end zone. From the 1, Puma with a hole will run it in for a score. So the Dragons are up by 10. What an end to this drive for St. Louis with the fake and the rushing touchdown. And with that, it is 17-7. The offense is on fire so far. Jets back with it. Here's Deacon Adderley under a little pressure, looking up the middle. He's got Garrett Wilson, who brings it to the 49-yard line. Nice play for Wilson, who's really developed into a good receiver here with the Jets over his 7-year career. To start the second quarter now, 2nd and 10. Adderley has room to run up the middle, gets the first down and is hit hard, but not before gaining 11. Deacon Adderley is a threat on the ground. The lefty quarterback is a dual threat. He's just ultra inconsistent, but today he's been pretty solid. 3rd and 9, Adderley up the middle. He's got his tight end, Draymond Rock, who gets it to the 13. Rock is the next installation of ultra-talented Iowa tight ends, joining a long list of great tight ends to come from that program. Following play, Adderley looks to throw it. He's going to go short. He's got Rock again, who is basically pushed into the end zone for a touchdown. As Adderley was being pushed down, it was like another defender almost helped him stay on balance, and he's able to walk it in, and the Jets are within 3. It's 14-17 on 3rd down. Puma misfires for Arturo Modelo. Good coverage by Darren Hamilton and others. That would force a punt, and the Jets get it back. 2nd and 10, Adderley and empty once again. Looks to throw it under pressure up the middle. Another first down for Garrett Wilson, who appears to be shaken up. Shouldn't be a serious injury, though, for Wilson, the former Buckeye. Both of these teams have a lot of former Ohio State players. 2nd and 4, Breece Hall gets the ball with a nice first down. Gets by a defender and will get to the 47-yard line. Hall's been pretty solid so far against the top-ranked rushing defense in the NFL. Adderley again in empty. I don't know why they're having so many empty sets. That one is dropped by Okuda. Another dropped pick by the defense. What's going on? Everybody in the secondary is butterfingers, apparently. Okuda is in the zone, though, after that deflection is on 3rd down. Adderley is sacked. It's Demore Diggins coming in off of the nickel blitz. Adderley didn't see him coming as Diggins ends the drive for the St. Louis defense. So that'll lead to a punt. Dragons get it back on offense. They scored 17 in the first quarter. Looking to replicate that as it's an RPO for the rookie Mallard, who tries to hurdle Brian Branch. He's unsuccessful. Still a nice play there for the rookie Mallard, who is basically a starting receiver now with J-Mo and Robinson both out. Puma's pass is picked off on 2nd down. Garrett Williams with the interception, and he gets it to the 42. Puma looked to call an audible for Amarion Cephas. He thought that area of the field was going to be wide open, so he had Cephas go on a streak. Problem is Garrett Williams jumps to the route, forcing the turnover. 3rd down for the Jets. Adderley is intercepted. Demore Diggins with the pick. Ball don't lie, I guess, as both QBs trade interceptions late here in the second quarter. And the Dragons are going to get it back on offense, albeit with bad field position, but I think it's worth it to hold on to the lead. 3rd and 1. It's a delayed handoff for Milan Santa. The Jets don't see it coming. He gets the first down, and St. Louis calls their first timeout. 2nd and 6. Puma back in the zone. Finds Amarion Cephas, who gets it to the 38. Since his rough game against the Bucs, Cephas has looked a lot better with no drops since then. There's only 15 seconds left. Dragons down to 1 timeout as on 2nd down. It's a dime on the out route for Arturo Modelo, who is out of bounds, stopping the clock with 11 seconds. The Dragons still with 1 timeout in their back pocket. Here's Puma Whitlock scrambling with it. He's going to look to run. He had the running back open, but instead is just going to try to get the Dragons into field goal range and center the kick as much as possible. So with 2 seconds, the field goal unit will come on the field. 46-yard try for Cameron Dicker. It's not a fake, and this one is up and good. 20-14 your score here at the half. Good to see the Dragons getting some late half momentum with the interception by DeMore Diggins, who had a great first half for St. Louis on defense. I can't really say the same for the rest of the defense. It's been another shaky start on that side of the ball, but the offense has certainly held their end of the bargain up to this point. As we take a look at our halftime report, we will start things off in the Steel City. The Falcons, coming off their loss against us last week, currently trail to the Steelers 20-9. An Atlanta loss certainly would not hurt us here, but if Carolina does hold on to the division, then Atlanta's record wouldn't matter to us, considering they'd be a wild card team. In Nashville, the Music City, the Titans upsetting Minnesota 24-14. I think this is a bigger deal for us because the Vikings are only a game back of Green Bay in their division, so Minnesota losing certainly doesn't hurt us. And in the Windy City, two teams fighting for their playoff lives, a low-scoring start. The lone touchdown, this short scamper for Justin Fields as the Bears lead at 7-0. Let's go into the second half now. We'll see if either team is really able to break out here. Both offenses look quite strong so far. But as I said, I really want to focus on running the ball, and I think that's what we're really going to try to have our identity set as in the second half. Puma Whitlock's playing really well minus the turnover, but I really want to run the ball effectively. And then defensively, look at this. 122 passer rating in the short game, 0.4 in the medium game, and then perfect throwing the deep ball. We've got to stop the deep passing game here for the Jets because that's what's been the issue for this defense over the last 3 weeks. Short pass, caught by Rock, who again, off-balanced, is pushed into getting extra yards, and he ends up with the first down for New York. It's unconventional, but again, it works. 3rd and 5 from the 42. Here's Deacon Adderley looking for the screen. It's Breece Hall. Owen Popo with a big tackle, but Hall does get the first down to keep the chains moving for the Jets. Now from the 48. Adderley with a handoff for Ariel Dominguez, and he loses a yard. Puma Whitlock's former running back at Ohio State. Malachi Weston is banged up. Not a serious injury, but not ideal that the 3 best pass rushers on this team are not on the field. 3rd and 2 from the 44 now. Adderley looking to call an audible as he looks to throw it here on 3rd down, and it is broken up for Wilson. Jalen Bourgeois and Cam Lucifer each with a pair of big hits. So what do you do? 4th and 2 at the 44. This is prime 4-down territory. The Jets will elect a punt. Psych! They're going to go for it! It's a fake! And they get the conversion. So both teams have successfully completed fakes today. The Dragons did not see that one coming, and New York will keep their drive going. From the 40, here's Draymond Rock, wide open, with a huge gain to the 8 for 32 yards. Things can change quickly in this game. The Jets just had a 3rd down stop, and now they have the ball in the red zone 30 seconds later. 1st and goal, it's the rookie out of Ohio State, Feliciano Devereaux with the score. And the Jets take the lead. It's 21-20. Dragons back with it. Play action fake. Puma under pressure. He is sacked. Olumani Dikenji is in the backfield with the sack for New York. 3rd and 16 now. Backed up at the 11. Puma with no time. Fumble! That ball is on the ground as Santa goes flying on it. Jamming Ron Barber with the strip sack. And the Dragons will have to punt it. The Jets with great starting field position. Here from the 39, Adderley on the run. That one is dropped by Ryan Nada. That wasn't an easy play to make, but one he still should have been able to hang on to. Another dropped interception for the defense. 3rd and 4, Adderley, short pass, caught by Garrett Wilson, who is flipped over by Jalen Bourgeois, but he does get the first down for New York, keeping the chains moving. I feel like the Jets have all the momentum right now. I don't know why the momentum bar is in favor of the Dragons. On 1st down, Adderley has an open man. Downfield, it's Feliciano Devereaux who brings it to the 4. And New York is getting closer and closer to the end zone. 1st and goal from the 4, looking to make the lead 8. It's Breece Hall who shifts away from defenders. He is in for the score. And the Jets are continuing their impressive 3rd quarter as they lead 28-20. Still a 1-possession game, but the Dragons have to get it together. They have really slipped since that impressive 1st quarter. Up the middle, here's Isaiah Likely with a nice play to the 43. But still, nonetheless, since the 1st quarter, St. Louis has been outscored 21-3. Not ideal. 2nd and 1, 30 to go in the quarter. Play action. Puma on the run. Is sacked again. Olumani Dikenji with his 2nd of the game. The Jets had no sacks in the first half, and within the past few minutes, they've gotten 3. Now starting the 4th quarter, 3rd and 15. Puma looking downfield. He has an open man. Amarian Cephas hangs on for the first down. Big play by both Puma and Cephas as it's now 3rd and 12. Puma looking short. It's broken up in the secondary by the lockdown all-pro corner, Sauce Gardner. 4th and 12, they're going to go for it. Wow, gutsy call by the offense, feeling like a field goal's not really going to do anything. So they were focused on scoring a touchdown here on this drive. Puma looking to throw it. Rolls to the right under a ton of pressure. Looking downfield. It is broken up. Modelo had a chance there, but there was 3 defensive backs in the area, and the gutsy decision to go for it ultimately backfires as the Jets continue their dominant second half. Under 6 to go. 3rd and 3. It's Devereaux who hangs on for the first down as Malachi Weston is hurt again. As good as Weston was in the first half of the year, and boy, he was good, here over the second half of the year, he has not been able to stay on the field. Following play, it's Breece Hall with the handoff, breaks a tackle, and Hall is able to get it to the 37-yard line. The defense has to get a stop and do it now, or else they could be in real danger of losing this game. Here's Hall on first down. He's going backwards. Penalty Barahona brings him down for a loss of a yard. The Jets aren't really in field goal range, so if you can find a way to get a stop, that'd be such a big deal. 2nd and 11. It's dropped. Feliciano Devereaux had a first down right in his hands. The Dragons just dodged a bullet. 3rd and 11, under 5 to go. It's another passing play. Adderley is incomplete. So the defense with a huge stop with plenty of time still left on the clock. What do the Jets do here? They're going to punt it. I think this is the right call. It'd be too long of a field goal. Try to pin the Dragons as back deep as possible. And it's the 16-yard line where St. Louis will start. Can Puma Whitlock lead his team down the field? The Dragons need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie the game. On first down, it's a play action. Here's Puma on the run. Fires for Modelo, who is out of bounds at the 48. So the Dragons are already near midfield. They are cruising quickly. Following play, Puma, scramble, short throw from Milan Santa, who is out of bounds. There's a flag. That's going to be an additional 15. A late hit, unnecessary roughness on Cosmos Cortez, and the Dragons are going to get the ball at the 27. Great play there by Puma Whitlock, under pressure, going for the underneath pass. Following play, Modelo, wide open, taunting the defenders, and he is in for a touchdown. What a play for St. Louis. Puma under more pressure has Modelo, who's showboating a little bit. I love the swagger for Arturo Modelo, who is in for his 12th receiving touchdown of the year. Look at him right here, pointing at the crowd of Jet defenders. It's 28-26. And now St. Louis is going to look to tie it up going for 2. It's a stacked box. They'll look to throw it. Mallard catches, and he is stopped by Darren Hamilton. I don't think throwing the ball was the mistake. I think the problem with that play is that the Dragons should not have thrown it behind the line of scrimmage. If you're going to pass the ball, throw it into the end zone. Nonetheless, a pretty successful drive because St. Louis is able to cut the lead to 2, and they only take a minute off. There's still 4 minutes left to go. Jets looking to chew clock. That's a good start as Breece Hall gets the first down to the 37, and they're going to let this clock chip away. The Dragons are going to have to start calling those timeouts soon. 2nd and 4 now for New York. It's back to Hall with plenty of room. A first down for Breece. Gets by Lucifer and is wrapped up all the way at the 28. What an impressive game for Breece Hall against the best run defense in football. He has been really effective. Here on first down, the Dragons down to 2 timeouts as Hall loses 2. Jabril Fofana with the hit, and that'll make it a 2nd and 12. The Jets looking to finish this game for good as Adderley looks to throw it. And his pass is caught by a wide-open receiver. That's Daniel Davis to the 13. So the Dragons are out of timeouts. Another first down would end this game, essentially. We'll see if the Jets can finish it off. It's another pass, and it's incomplete. Why are they throwing the ball? I don't get that at all. Just run the ball, chew some clock. Even if you get stopped, try to limit the amount of time the Dragons can have with the ball. 2nd and 10, Breece Hall. He is going backwards for a loss of 2, and Prince Johnson is hurt, which again stops the clock. Finnegan, Howell, Coleman, and Nnamdi Sanaga were in the backfield with the stop. And now it's 3rd and 12, 2:22 to go. A first down would still end the game as it's empty. Adderley under pressure from Sanaga. He throws it away. When the Jets had the ball with 2:30 left in the red zone on first down, I thought this game was over. But there's no time coming off the clock with 2 incomplete passes and an injury. So there's still 2:15 left. The field goal is good for New York. It's a 5-point game. But the Dragons have a very real chance of winning this game. They need a touchdown drive here from Puma Whitlock. And I don't think time is a big issue. They don't have any timeouts. But there's still 2:13 to go. Plus the 2-minute warning. So the Dragons don't have to necessarily rush things quite yet. They're going to start by running the ball as Milan Santa gets around 3. And that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. The Dragons don't seem to be in a hurry yet, but they've still got to get some big plays together. Otherwise, time could become an issue. They're going to go back to the ground on 2nd down. Juskins only gets 1. Dragan Markovic brings him down, the former top 5 pick out of USC. 3rd and 6 now. St. Louis will look to throw it. Short pass caught by the rookie Mallard. Out of bounds. And another late hit from the Jets. Leave it to the New York Jets to possibly lose this game because of extracurricular after the play. Can you catch? Puma Whitlock's former college teammate at Ohio State with the flag. So now the Dragons have it at the 42. Puma rolls out, hoping Cephas gets open. He doesn't, but there's plenty of rushing room instead. Puma Whitlock out of bounds at the 17 with still 1:24 left to go. So clock absolutely should not be an issue, and we might see the Dragons start to burn some time. Here's Juskins. He only gets 2, and the Dragons are going to be in no hurry to get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 8. Puma looks to throw it. It is caught out of bounds by Modelo, who gets 7. 3rd and 1 now. Clock is stopped. 1:03 left to go here in regulation, as it's going to be a handoff for Santa, and he's going backwards. Olumani Dikenji continuing his impressive second half, and now it's 4th and 3. The game is on the line for the Dragons with 40 seconds to go. Puma, quick pass, caught by Likely, who is down at the 2. Puma wanted to get the ball out quick. Likely was open, but this clock is going to continue to run. 22 seconds left. The Dragons can't really run the ball at this point. They have to throw it. First down, broken up in the end zone, incomplete. Can you catch? With the deflection, we're down to 17 seconds. Again, as long as you're not tackled in the field of play, the Dragons should have 3 chances here for the end zone. Puma, under pressure. He is sacked. They got to get back quickly. 10, 9, 2 seconds, 1 second. They don't get it off. And the New York Jets hang on with a stop in the red zone to win this game. 31-26. The Dragons felt like they could be relaxed with the clock, and understandably so. They got the ball back with over 2 minutes left. They didn't want the Jets offense to get it back. The problem is they didn't leave themselves enough time at the end to where a sack would kill them, as it just did here. So unfortunately, the Dragons lose again, their 3rd loss out of the last 4 games, this time falling to the New York Jets. We shot ourselves in the foot too many times. We didn't necessarily play a really bad game like we did with the Bucs, but we had so many chances, and we just consistently blew it on both sides of the ball. Puma Whitlock had a really strong game. I'm not going to blame him for that last sack. He had no time to throw it. The interception in the second quarter wasn't ideal, but Puma was really good. And then Deacon Adderley was quite solid as well. He missed a lot more throws than Puma, but he was still quite good. The big difference between these teams was the ground game. Normally it's the other way around, but Breece Hall played really well, whereas Juskins and Santa each had under 4 yards a carry. Their run game was better than ours, which is something that I don't get to say too often about the other team. Arturo Modelo did his thing, of course, per usual, and I thought the receivers were pretty good. We had no drops. Cephas played a good game. Likely played a good game. Jalen Mallard was really good, stepping up for the injured Colin Robinson, who also had played really well before he got hurt. The offensive line was great in the first half and god-awful in the second half. And then defensively, I will say this. The defense wasn't good, but they got stops when they needed to. Still did not have a good day, but they were clutch down the stretch. We didn't get enough out of the pass rush, though. That'll happen when you're missing all your best pass rushers. The Jets, meanwhile, with 4 sacks in the second half, including the one at the end, spearheaded by former Dragon Nakobe Dean, who had a really good game. So with that, the Dragons fall to 9-5. Puma Whitlock does not complete the breakout challenge, although he was close. Assuming he threw one or less interceptions, which he did, he only had the one, he would have needed either 4 touchdowns or 400 scrimmage yards, and he barely missed on both. He had 3 scrimmage touchdowns and 370 scrimmage yards. So unfortunately, no breakout challenge. As we know, Colin Robinson and Sharif Sully both tore their abdominals. They will be on the same timeline as Simeon Bonnet, meaning they will return for the wild card round. So thank goodness we'll have them back for the playoffs, but we're going to be without them the rest of the regular season. I think it'll be Royal Osuchua who starts at left tackle the rest of the way. Osuchua's been a guard in the NFL, but he played tackle in college. And then with no Robinson, again, we're going to see a lot of Jalen Mallard next week. And then after that, Jamison Williams will be back, which is a big deal. I am excited to see what Mallard's going to do. He had a really good game today. Unfortunately, Carolina beat Denver. The Broncos were on a 7-game win streak coming into this one, but they fall to the Panthers, which is really the team we're watching for. And now that Carolina's won that game, our chances of getting the 1 seed are pretty much toast. At least we can laugh at our 3 NFC West rivals for all losing again. Players of the week, Jordan Addison, Irwin Dundee, Williamson Wilson, and Aaron Donald. Donald's second sack in this game was the 201st of his career, breaking the all-time sack record previously set by Bruce Smith. And with that, we've got 3 weeks left to go. We have been really shaky. Ever since really the second half of the Bills game, our team has not played well. We barely beat a bad Lions team. We nearly choked a 17-0 lead against New England. And since then, we've lost 3 of 4. And it would be 4 in a row if not for a miraculous interception in the end zone by Cam Lucifer. We really are the best defensive play of the season away from being on a 4-game losing streak. We still would have the division clinched because, again, the division freaking sucks. But still, our chances of getting the 1 seed are pretty much down the drain. With Carolina being 2 games ahead of us and having the tiebreaker, we need to win out and they need to lose out. I don't think Carolina's going to lose 3 in a row. We have fallen to 3rd place now. The Packers have passed us for 2nd. It's refreshing that we don't have to worry about the wild card race because there's so many good teams other than the Niners, Rams, and Seahawks, who, if the season ended today, would be picking 1, 2, and 3. That's hilarious. We have moved down to the 3rd seed, as I said. We're still projected to play the Saints in the first round of the playoffs, so there's a real shot we have a rematch from last year's wild card game, which, of course, was halted by Puma Whitlock's injury on the first drive. So that'll wrap things up. Next time around, the defending champion Dolphins are coming to town, and they are fighting for their playoff lives at 7-7. So similar to the Jets, this team needs all the wins they can get, and they're going to give us their best. I hope everybody enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.